For himself, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Thank you for joining us once again in our series, Know the Fundamentals.
Yeah.
This huge, Coach, Know the Fundamentals. Everybody seems to have their opinion on financial planning today. You can go to 17 different websites and they're going to have their little section on this or that with their opinion editorials. I don't know if half the time they're actually written by an advisor. But let's talk fundamentals.
Yeah, very important. I mean, if you watch any sporting event, you can tell the teams that the coaches spent a lot of time making sure that the players understood the simple tools and techniques, and then added to that.
That's good.
If you try to jump in like up here and you didn't learn down here, you're going to quickly fall back down. So building blocks, fundamentals, especially in retirement. What are some of the retirement fundamentals? Making sure you minimize your risk, minimize expenses, maximize what you're saving, maximize your income, have that autopilot where you never have to worry about outliving your money, and you've got at least that amount coming every single month for the rest of your life. It'll never be less, could be more. Knowing if you pass away, your spouse is going to be taken care of. Knowing when you and your spouse both pass away, your kids or grandkids are going to be taken care of. So there's a lot of different check boxes we go through. Nothing you really have to worry about. You can read about it in the book, or you can get your own plan done. With us at no cost. But
Well, and that's kind of the whole point of all this, isn't it? You know, we talk about financial planning. You can get into the weeds and know all of these terms and what's going on here, there. But at the end of the day, most people just want to walk on the beach, want to swing the golf club, throw the rod out there and try to catch something good, go flounder gigging, you name it. Like most people don't really want to know this, but at a certain point, you got to find someone you connect, trust with, and make that one decision to get the plan. Because like you said in our last episode there, once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, we're more than happy to give you all this behind-the-scenes information, by the way. And you can put it in a file. You might look at it someday, you might not. But we have it all backed up. But we put all the important and pertinent information on a one-page plan for you, showing you in color, different colors, what it really means to you.
Yeah.
What's my lifetime income going to be based on what I have right now? What are my expenses going to be? And of course, the income better be higher than the expenses.
Exactly.
And so if not, we could tweak that. And so that's why it's important to be honest when we talk about what do you like to do in a day, a weekend day. You like to play golf? All right, we need to put a price to that. Then we need to factor inflation in. What's that going to cost in 10 years? Oh, you like a cart? Well, a cart costs more money, right? So, you lose 10 balls every time you play. Well, we need to factor that in. So these are all things that we go through because you don't want to be surprised down the road.
Yes, that's right.
And so fundamentally, we go through everything and make sure that everything's in place.
There you go. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, you got a great quote here from Jack Nicklaus talking golf. Learn the fundamentals of the game and stick to them. Band-Aid remedies never work.
No, duct tape.
Isn't that nice? Yeah, duct tape.
Yeah. No, I mean, but it's such a great solution that we have. There's no need to be cutting corners.
There you go. Yeah,
we
I
can
love that.
put you in control of retirement with the money you already have put aside, by the way.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to come up with money. It's already there. Let's just make sure it's in the right place.
There you go.
That's all we do.
Folks, the time to act is right now. Connect with Coach Pete's fiduciary team with the information that you see there on the screen. Get your questions answered, but even more important than that, let's get that plan. Welcome back into our series on the Big Book on Retirement. I'm Thomas Lipscomb here once again alongside best-selling author Coach Pete D'Arruda, having a great conversation with you here as we're walking through this series. And Chapter 7 is all about
We can give you a seal of approval telling you it's going to be fine. We can give you a seal of approval telling you it's going to be fine. That's a big thing right there, because we can give you a seal of approval telling you it's going to be fine. That's a big thing right there, because now you have a team behind you telling you everything's going to be fine. A couple weeks ago, he asked me a question from a friend. And you have 60 days once you take money out of your own IRA to put it in a different IRA, or you get that tax bill. That money becomes taxable. So you got a 60-day clock. Or if you have it electronically done through a planning organization like us, it's done automatically. You don't have to worry about it. So the burden of proof lies on the institutions, not on you when you have an institution help you.
That's good.
That's a big time bomb for folks if they do the wrong thing with money, or your money in IRAs. When you take that money out, you're going to have to pay tax on it, unless it's a Roth IRA, which is tax-free. If you have a Roth and a regular IRA, then people say, well, which account should I start taking money out first when I'm in retirement? My opinion, if you got some money growing tax-free, keep it growing tax-free. Take the money out of the taxable accounts, keep that money growing tax-free over there. Because the good thing about a Roth or life insurance, when you pass away, that money goes tax-free to your next of kin.
Yeah, so powerful, so powerful.
It moves on tax-free, doesn't disappear that's good. And you don't even have to take it out if you don't want to.
No, it's true. Well, and we've just talked about a couple of situations here, but throughout this retirement transition, there are so many of these exit strategies that you need to have in place.
Yes.
Even into retirement, Coach, I think about laddering strategies, bucketing strategies.
Yep.
Technically, these have exit strategies at each point as well that are, you guys are always tailoring these, aren't you? Every now and then just updating, making sure everything's heading in the right direction.
32 years I've been doing this, Thomas. 32 years I've seen about any kind of situation you could ever imagine.
Yeah, I bet.
So that's why it's good to go, like when I go to my doctor, he's been around for a while, and so he's seen, no matter what I say, he's seen it before. He doesn't have to start Googling. You don't want your planner learning with you, in other words.
Oh, man.
And so we've seen the mistakes people have made, and our objective is to make sure you don't make those same mistakes.
There you go.
And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But a genius learns from other people's mistakes. Yes. Well, we'll learn from other people's mistakes to put a plan together for you that makes a lot of sense.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Very powerful.
So get your own plan now.
Scenarios of how these actually work. So for the first case study we had come in was actually a radio listener a couple months back. They were currently age 54 and 55. They were targeting retiring at age 60 for them both. Now, of course, when there's an age discrepancy, there's layover months. That's not an issue for us. We're looking at the year in which they're both turning 60. So we had about roughly $2.5 million in retirement savings. This is a combination of IRAs, 401ks, Roths, after-tax funds. So this is just kind of giving you a big picture lump sum. So we're not going into a lot of the tax planning here. We're focusing solely on the income yield. Now, the benefit of this plan is there is not a risk tolerance we normally assess. Most people say that you have to put your age inside of a retirement calculator, and that's the difference between what's at risk and what's not. So that means that the safety and the risk should be about a 55-45 split. Well, in this scenario, we based on what makes the standard of living work, what makes the income work. And in this scenario, it was an even 1 million of the 2.5. What this did was we always work with A+ or higher companies, but they become the custodian. So instead of having a 401k like Fidelity or Vanguard, we use companies like Nationwide, Athene, North American, A+ rated insurers. So in this scenario, that million, based on this A+ rated company, got a 30% bonus, which pushed the insured value to 1.3 million. That's 300 grand going towards their retirement income, no matter what the market does. Now, when we run worst case scenarios, we're talking about 0% market return, absolute worst case. And then we run age of death, we just always look 30 years out. But the beauty of these plans is the strategies and such we target continue beyond. Now, I mentioned 30 years out, but we're talking about 30 years of income. So what we're targeting is once they're at that age 60 mark, the spreadsheet ran out at 34 years, but these are the numbers we're looking at. That means that the income account by age 94, but they would still be getting this income 10%. Now, a lot of calculators are going to do a calculation saying, hey, it averages 10% a year. Well, that's kind of the middle ground. And it doesn't do 10% a year compounded annually. It does 10% annualized over a 30-year window. So we're going to have years of 0, and we're going to have years as high as almost 50%, but it normally ranges between 7 to 15. So same scenario, same age of death. The difference is the income would start at $100,000. But the kicker is, over the course of their life through age 94, it goes as high as $250,000. So this income increases and compounds year over year. And all of this is under a spend and leave model. Live off the icing, not touch the cake. That means that that $1 million investment, not the total 2.5, just the million, based on market returns, would grow to over $4.5 million at death. That means they took out close to $4 million themselves and still had 4.5 left, assuming the market did what it's done over the last few investment cycles. So you guys want your own plan, you want your own strategy, give us a call, shoot us an email, go to our website, send us a text, and we'll run the numbers for you.
This big game, every move counts. Plan wisely to win the match. Sidestep the unexpected. And charge towards your goal. Navigate through the challenges. Retirement is your end zone. And the touchdown is within reach. A successful retirement is your championship. Let Coach Pete design your customized income game plan today.
All right, we are going to kick this off strong. Inaugural episode of The Wide World of Investing. I'm Thomas Lipscomb alongside Bruce Rosenblum, leading the charge, best-selling author, Coach Pete DeRuda. Now, Coach, how did you dream this show up, The Wide World of Investing?
Well, this is a wide world of investing, isn't it? You can invest in all sorts of things these days. When I was little, I had a coin collection. I still have it. That's an investment. A lot of people invest in coins, Bruce.
Indeed.
You know, a lot of people invest in silver and gold.
We started tempting our children. My dad did, actually, with the 50 state
Classic Hot Wheels.
There's that show on the Public Education Network, some kind of road show. They would go around, antique road show. And they would find different antiques. People invest in antiques. But you go to, a lot of people go to estate sales to find things that people don't value right. You know, think about it. Have you ever had anybody pass away in your family?
Yes.
Have you ever had to go and clean the house out that they left behind?
I actually have a story to go along with that. My great aunt used to own a retail store in a downtown neighborhood here for years and years and years, and she dealt in collectibles. And so when she passed away, her children were able to go into these warehouses, as it were, and imagine lunch boxes from the 1950s or dolls from the 1940s, still in the box. I mean, perfect condition. They've increased, 100 times in value.
Putting a value on things. And here it is, when someone passed away, it's up to you. It happened to my wife. Her uncle passed away, and then we had to go clean his house out and then get rid of all the stuff there. Get rid of is an optimum word, because we didn't really value everything. Or I didn't really spend much time that her mom and her didn't really value everything properly. I went one day, I said, this isn't for me. I did get a baseball card out of it. A baseball too. But how do you value things the right way? Because that's when the sharks appear, when they assume you don't really know what it's worth.
That's true.
We're working on a new proprietary program with a different firm now that will enable you to have an app on your phone. You can take a picture of whatever the item is, and it'll tell you what the value is. This will make it a lot easier. But that's a different story and a different show. What I'm talking about here is there's values for a lot of different things. There's different ways to invest. The investing we always have been brought up to know about is stock market. Of course. This is probably the number. And then crypto is investing too. You're investing your money. Investments basically mean you take your money and you give it to somebody else for some item. That's investing. So it can either go up or down. The person who is selling it to you is hoping that they've made money too. And they're hoping that when they sell it to you, it's going to go down in value, because if it was going to go up, they would have held it. Or maybe they need the money. So one of the things we're going to talk about here, we're going to concentrate on all different investments. We're going to talk about the stock market every now and then. We're going to talk about crypto. We're going to get CEOs on from different companies or people that invest in different areas that we've never heard of, and try to educate you as a general public of places that you might not even know that are good for investing. You might be sitting and feeling like you're in poverty right now, but you may be in a house that's loaded with things that are worth a lot of money, but they don't have much value to you because you don't really know what the value is.
Yeah, that's good.
So, right, Bruce? So one of the things that I've done here lately is I've been out trying to say to myself, how can I have the great first show for the Worldwide Investing Show? And just came across my desk this company named Venue from J.W. Roth. Venue is a company that starts these outdoor amphitheaters, but they're VIP amphitheaters, and they have amazing amenities there. And it's like first class going to concert, because like J.W. has said, J.W. Roth is most of the concerts you go to now is warm beer, standing in line, being at like a single A ballpark in baseball. So he said, what if we could VIP that experience? And we're going to end the show today with an interview that I just had in Wall Street. We went for the opening bell this past week and watched J.W. Roth ring that opening bell, and the stock symbol VENU has been launched. Let's go to that interview right now, and folks, we'll see you on the next show. Folks, it's Coach Pete here. I'm live on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange with Mr. J.W. Roth, who has just launched his public traded company, Venue. JW, welcome in.
Coach, it's good to be here. It's good to be here.
It's a fun day for you.
It's a fun day.
You rang the opening bell today.
We rang the opening bell. We opened the New York Stock Exchange. It's just funny, you know, when you're when you're a kid or you grow up and you always think of the New York Stock Exchange and how you picture it.
Yeah.
Then you get in business and you start to dream about how, where your company's going to ultimately go. But then to actually do it, to stand out there and ring the bell on the New York Stock Exchange, it's surreal.
It's pretty amazing.
It's amazing.
You look like a pro up there doing it.
Yeah, well, listen, I got him fooled. I got him fooled.
Now, all right, let's take a step back. Tell me how you got started in the business world.
Yep.
Let's do that. Let's do a quick history here.
Yep.
A couple minutes.
Yep.
Because that'll help, I think, folks that are watching. It'll help them understand who you are and why you're doing what you're doing now.
Yep. So, I did not start in the hospitality or entertainment space. I'm the founder at Roth Premium Foods. My background is all agriculture and in building food lines. So, Roth is a prepared food manufacturer, I think about the third largest in the United States.
Wow.
We build for almost every grocery store in America, and we do service every grocery store in America every day. Build between 100 and 150 tons of proteins for U.S. consumption every week. So that's what Roth does. Being a music nut, about 6 years ago, I sat down with my family and our partners, and I said, you know what? I've got another one in me. I want to go build another one. My son had been at Roth all the way along, was in a perfect position to just continue what we were doing there. And in fact, I tell people this all the time. He's actually, in a lot of ways, done better than the old man would have done. But it gave me the opportunity to then leave. I took a handful of my key people, and we worked out a transition plan. And over the course of a year or so, transitioned out my CFO and some of our business development folks and that kind of thing. And I started Venue. And the idea was, as a music fan, I've been to venues all over the world. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you that they're old. They're dilapidated, especially live music venues outdoor, like amphitheaters.
Yeah.
Most of them are 40, 50, 60 years old. And so they lack a lot of what the fan is demanding. Think about the NFL and Major League Baseball. It's kind of who I copied. I took a page right out of their playbook. I looked at them and said, look at what guys like George Steinbrenner did, or Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. He took old, dilapidated stadiums, worked with municipalities, and built unbelievable experiences and unbelievable ambiance in stadiums now. So now when you go to a football stadium, you're not out there drinking a lukewarm beer, eating a lukewarm or cold hot dog.
Yeah.
You're going out there and you're enjoying club service and all of the things that go on with the stadium. I wanted to do that in music. So I started going around the country, hired Ryan and company to start putting public-private partnerships together. And this last summer, we opened the most premium amphitheater ever built in history. Ford Motor Company put their name on it. It's the Ford Amphitheater in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Incredible. It creates an unbelievable vibe and an unbelievable ambiance.
Yeah. So, I mean, this idea, though, came like, let's build amphitheaters? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you said.
Here's what I said.
Okay.
I said, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of the venues that I go to, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
But I go to football games and baseball games, and I'm thinking, man, these are nice. I could do this. So when I left Roth Premium Foods, I left for one specific reason, and that is to disrupt the venue space in live music.
Disrupting, because some of the Major League and football places,
Yeah.
their video screens are better than the TV at home.
No question. No question. And the food is unbelievable. I mean, you have 5-star restaurants now in baseball parks. And so, we built a seafood and chop house in the Ford Amphitheater in Colorado Springs. It's a 5-star seafood and chop house inside of a music venue.
Now, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Instead of hot dogs and a slice of pizza.
That's right. That's exactly right. No more hot dogs and slices of cold pizza.
All right. So now you got the idea. Let's build big amphitheaters and let the people to come. But how did you get the financing in place? Because that's a big proposition. You see all the NFL teams and Major League teams. They have to really consider building something new these days.
I mean, it's tens of millions of dollars to build these, and so. Basically, there's three parts to my financing strategy. First is the municipalities have to participate. So 35% or so of all of the financing comes from the municipality. The municipality provides the ground, provides the tax incentives. They're a big piece of the financing. And then I go out and I pre-sell. I build the structure of my amphitheaters like a condominium building, where we own the condominium building, and then we pre-sell condominiums in the form of fire pits. And so about 35% or so of all of the financing for these come from those suite owners and fire pit suite owners. And then the balance comes from our ability to then finance and put small amounts of sale leasebacks on the ground underneath the amphitheater. But these amphitheaters, like in McKinney, it's a $300 million amphitheater to build the. Wow. It's the most seated amphitheater in the history of the world. That we're building there. It opens for the 2026 season. It's beautiful. If you've not seen what we're doing down there, it's incredible. But at the end of the day, you could never make it pencil if it wasn't for really forward-thinking municipalities like the city of McKinney. George Fuller, Mayor George Fuller, he's a forward-thinking mayor. He's a wonderful man. And he, in his way of thinking, he brought the city council along, and next thing you know, they're supporting it. We have great fire pit suite owners down there. Got a good friend in Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's a Hall of Fame quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, he is.
He and I partnered on 8 as a sponsor at our venues, and then we're building the Aikman clubs, and so. We've just got really good partnerships, good sponsorships, and so at the end of the day, we have a financing strategy that works and works well, and it works good for our public company shareholders.
Yeah, that's a good question. So a lot of people, before they invest in the stock, they say, well, let me see how much debt this company has.
That's right.
How are you looking on that?
We have very, very little debt.
Yeah.
We, over the last 8 quarters or so, 9 quarters, I guess, we've built a balance sheet of about $181 million. We'll cross $200 million and add $1 billion in 2025.
Is that a B?
With a B, in the net tangible assets. And so, at the end of the day, we are focused on our balance sheet, and as a result of public-private partnerships and mark-to-market valuations, we're gonna cross that number this year.
Now, someone who's just finding out about Venue for the first time, and they say, gosh, how do we get an amphitheater like this in our area? What are the steps you've been doing, and where are you going next?
Yeah, so, right now we're finishing up amphitheaters as we build down through the Tulsa market and Broken Arrow. We'll be in Oklahoma City market. We're building the Dallas-Fort Worth market and McKinney, which is an unbelievable venue. Getting ready to start our construction down in El Paso. It's interesting. El Paso is such an interesting market. People think of El Paso, but they only think of kind of north of the bridge, right? Listen, south of the business bridge is just as big of a market. Latin music has exploded.
There you go.
It has exploded.
Yep.
And that market has exploded. And so at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, don't count El Paso out as might be the most profitable venue we build in the next 10 years for that exact reason.
When is that on the schedule to come out?
We're booking it, and it will open in 26. So we're about 15 months out.
Well, let me ask you this. If people stop liking music?
The world ends, right?
Yeah.
If people stop liking music, I think the world just ends. It's the only thing I can think of that is unifying, right? At the end of the day, 2025, again, for the 10th year in a row, it's the #1 leisure activity in the world. In the world is live music. So bigger than baseball, bigger than football, bigger than soccer, worldwide, #1 leisure activity, live music. And it's most unifying. Think about this. Where else can a Republican and a Democrat and an independent all sit together and sing in harmony and be harmonized in whatever they're doing? Live music, right? Everybody, I don't care what if you're a Democrat, Republican, or independent, you know the lyrics to Hotel California.
That's right.
And you sit there and sing it together in unison.
Yeah.
And it's one of the only places that happens. It doesn't happen in baseball parks because there's 2 different teams and they hate each other.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen in baseball, 2 teams and they hate each other.
Yeah.
Live music is the only place where everybody there is there for one thing, and that's to be unified in whatever band is playing.
It's amazing how you can have an album, listen to it over and over again at home, but then you go see that band live, and it's a totally different experience. It's so much better, isn't it? Live?
No question.
Yeah.
It is. Live music is I tell people this all the time. Live music, and everybody that's watching this they know, it's a vibe. It's a feeling. There is an ambiance about live music you don't get anywhere else. And it's something that you tell stories about. Music, I can play a song, and it takes you back.
Yeah.
You can remember where you were, who you were with, and what you were doing.
Good point.
Because that's what music does. Music creates memories. Live music creates even better memories because you enjoy it with somebody else.
Yeah, and you've got the collective energy of everybody around you. I think
That's right.
resonating. We don't even know the metaphysics on that these days.
No
too,
question.
But I think the group mentality of everybody on the same side.
No question.
I mean, it just lifts everybody's spirits.
Yep.
up.
No question.
Again,
No question.
Album
Yep.
or live? Who
That's
does more
exactly
live?
right.
So my next question is: do you ever see live music going away? Of course, that was
No,
a
never,
softball question.
never. Not in 100
Probably
years.
getting better and better, isn't it?
It does get better. Right?
Yeah.
There's a point, though. I think there's going to be a point where live music even expands. So live music today is usually enjoyed. We're together and we're at a venue. But I see the day coming where live music will be enjoyed virtually. Virtually in the sense that pay-per-view or live music events that's an audio.
Like a 3D room kind
like
of thing?
Like a 3D room.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see that coming someday.
Yeah, well.
We'll see what happens, but
With AI, you never know these
I
days,
think
huh?
with AI, I think
Yeah.
you're going to see that happen. Yep.
Wow, that's
And it's
pretty
exciting.
good. Where'd the name venue come from?
Well, here's what happened. The company started off, I named it Notes Live. And Notes is obviously music notes, right?
Yep.
And live is what we do. So Notes Live was the name of the company. I started dealing with the New York Stock Exchange, and we started looking at symbols. And Paul Dorfman said, you know, some of the coolest companies in the world, the name of the company is also the symbol. You know what I mean? And so there's some thought that a lot of companies then put into that. So we started thinking about all of the various symbols, and actually venue obviously is it's a 5-letter word that we turned into a 4-letter word. And it's just so descriptive of who we are.
It is.
And then the New York Stock Exchange worked with us to make that our symbol.
Did you get a thesaurus out?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I do that online
Yeah,
nowadays. I find a different word.
Exactly.
If I can't pronounce one word, I go with another
exactly.
one. All right, so then let's talk. We've got a couple minutes here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk business.
Yep.
For someone who's watching this and they are interested in investing,
Yep.
what would you tell them as far as a brand new investor? What kind of steps should they take, and what would you recommend?
Yeah, so, you know, I'd love to have you as a shareholder. You know, our symbol is VENU, traded on the New York Stock Exchange. I would love to have you as a shareholder. We are aggressively disrupting the venue space. We are well capitalized. We have strong shareholder base and support. And I am committed to building a balance sheet and a P&L. So at the end of the day, you would be investing in a space, the music space, the live music space, that is exploding. Never been a time in history where the demand of tickets has been higher than it is today, and there's never been a time in history where the supply of new artists is higher than it is today. So here you've got an industry with the high demand, high supply. We are the exchange. We are where fans and artists meet, and nobody is doing it better than we are.
Symbol's Venue Live, by the way.
Yep.
Great
Yep.
symbol. Venue
Yep.
Live.
Yep.
Now, somebody who wants to invest in one of the new places you're building, is that possible for someone to have a stake in the next amphitheater?
Absolutely. And we have a great team that does that. Just so many great shows. A fun place.
So someone should come and look at it because you can actually invest in one of the VIP fire pit
That's right.
spaces, right?
Yep.
Right, and
Yep.
is that a lifetime ownership when
It
you
is
invest?
lifetime ownership. And
Wow,
I tell
that's
people
amazing.
this all the
Yeah.
time too. At the end of the day, the best way to understand what we do is to experience what we do. And the best way to experience what we do is come sit in my suite at the Ford Amphitheater.
I did.
Yeah, you
Awesome
did.
place,
Dang
awesome
right
place.
you did. Yeah.
J.W. Roth, folks, and the symbol is venue, and then the website venue.live.
Venue.live. Love to have you as a shareholder.
Always great
Coach,
to see you.
thank you.
Yes. See you later, folks.
Bye-bye.
Here, I'm Thomas Lipscomb. We're here with best-selling author Coach Pete D'Arruda, who wrote this. Here, I'm Thomas Lipscomb. We're here with best-selling author Coach Pete D'Arruda, who wrote this awesome book. And I thought maybe for this first little dive through the book, we could talk about why you wrote it. But folks, just in case you're wondering, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through this book chapter by chapter and getting a little bit of a, let's call it behind the scenes of the writing process, the intentions behind it, all that jazz.
This is book number 18,
18
that I've written.
yes.
And you know what happens a lot of times, I know it happens. People have given me books before. Somebody gives you a book, maybe a couple books you wanted to read, you haven't read them yet, so you say, I'll read this sometime.
Sure.
It gets put on the bookcase, and then it gets forgotten.
Yep.
So these are really good tools and techniques in this book. We're going to go through every chapter telling you why it's important, but you can really act on these tips and tools
You can.
to get a better retirement. So that's why we wrote it. I didn't write it just to write a book. I've got plenty of books. I don't need any more books. But we wrote this for a very important purpose, and that's so you could understand how to really plan your own retirement.
It's true. And you've divided it into 5 key sections. You have game theory, tactics, offense, defense, and the 2 minutes.
When against each other, sometimes you can tell one team was more prepared than the other.
No doubt.
We want you to be that team that's prepared, was more prepared than the other.
No doubt.
We want you to be that team that's prepared to play offense all the way through retirement. In other words, doing what you want to do on your terms. And that's why we wrote the book. So I hope you enjoy it. We're going to tell you why each chapter is important, but skim through it, find some chapters that interest you. If you have any questions or if you want your own plan done, we're always available to do that. That golden ticket you have there, you got with the book, will show you how to get that appointment at no cost and put you in control.